Hi there, care to join us for a Stravaiging? Today, Loki and I are just going to be following the core path up to starting at the Knocknairling track. You can see that sign there just on the end of it. We're on the road from New Galloway's probably a mile or so that way, and Mossdale maybe 3-4 miles down that way. But we're going to walk up around this forest track. This is the second part of my walk going from New Galloway to Mossdale. In the first part we walked from New Galloway Golf Course along some of the New Galloway woodland circuit and round to through some woodland and then down to here. And now we are going to go from here to the junction for the Bannan Viewpoint. So this is a track we came down in the previous video. We go up there a bit. There's a turn on the right, although the sign saying it's closed at the moment. Though there's no active forestry going on there. And we're going to go down here, crossing the Bow Burn and heading off into the Galloway Forest Park. So we did have quite a lot of rain this morning, and this is early July. So nice blue skies this afternoon, but it does mean there is quite a lot of flies around. So I've not actually been down this track, at least not for a long time. I don't recall if I was in the past on my bicycle. I believe that goes up around the back of Cairn Edward Hill and will connect up with other tracks further around on the Raiders Road. And these gates are just here to stop cars and things. It's open to walkers, cyclists, horse riders. Loki's managed to find his first puddle of this section. Is that good? Is that good?
This is a shortened version of the walk. The full walk will be available later in the week, and once it is, I will link it up on the top right and in the description.
There's signs informing of forestry work, but from what I can gather, it's been finished here for quite a while. I believe this is the Clone Burn. Okay, so coming up to the first turn off from this track. Second. Go by that one right near the start. Now the water you can hear is the Lowran burn. There's a lovely wee set of falls just at the bottom of them. I'll pop a picture up. And just down basically by the road down there. We're actually going to be following this burn for a wee bit. But basically, down this track, from what I can tell, it's just a dead end. Although you could potentially go through the forest to the Bennan Viewpoint and rejoin the track that's at the Bennan Viewpoint. And if you scrambled up onto the rocks and things, you can get some good views. But there's a lot of wind blowing down there, massive root plates, so from the track itself, you can't really get a good picture. You can see between the branches and the trees and the root plates, but it is a reminder of what this land used to be used for. You're just walking through and randomly finding old dikes. stone walls for the non-Scots out there. And for the next turn off, this one goes up this side of the Bennan, doesn't go all the way to the top. Does connect up with the track we're on further round, which I'll point out at the time. Waterboy's desperately trying to get in. I'm sure there's actually a way down to this one, boy. So again, we're low run burn. But yeah, up this track, there is a great view up there, sort of at the cut bit further up. But there is a number of trees down across the road at the moment, so it makes it tricky to get by, and in some areas you've got to scramble through some quite thick forest. This track, I believe, goes up to Cairn Edward Hill, or at least to the base of it, and then there's a path up it. Not actually been up there, so not totally sure, but I think there may be a way up and over and join that track that we saw near the start of this section of track, going off to the right. Hopefully get up there soon. The Cairn Edward Hill is one of the ones that we see when we're looking down towards New Galloway across the Cairn, Loch Cairn. We've got Cairn Edward Hill and then the Bennan, which is up behind there. Okay, I could be wrong, but I think that one might be Slagary. I'm not sure about the ones in between, and then that one might be Airy Hill. And I'm lost it now. Two kind of in more of the distance might be Fellowfleet and Shaw Hill that are over there. I think the other one might have been the back of Black Craig, but I couldn't swear to it. I can figure out what those other ones are. I'll put markers on so you can confirm the ones I've mentioned. It's one of the things of being in this ever-evolving landscape. It's kind of, the views change depending on where the felling has been and planting has been, and how long it has been between going through areas. At this point, go up. This track leads us up towards the Bennan Viewpoint. That's one for another day, and basically when you do that viewpoint, there's a loop. We'll come down and join, and then split up further round, which I'll point out when we get round there. It also joins up with the last track that's split off to the left, the one where I mentioned there was trees down. So, assuming I'm remembering correctly, going this way takes you back round towards the Bannan Viewpoint car park, and is part of that loop that came out on that road that was up there, and track, path, whatever you want to call it. We'll get that recorded at some point.
And in our next video, we will carry on down to the right towards Loch Strone.
Thanks for joining us on this Stravaiging, and hope you can join us for another one in the future. Sláinte.